My mom is here, everyone.
Hi.
She's here.
I am. Not for long.
No, you're leaving in like an hour.
Yeah, very sad.
You always get crazy the day before you leave or the day of.
Right.
Do you remember there were always fights?
Yes.
Like the last... So I've lived away from home for more than half my life. And same with my middle sister. And so every time my mom would come visit us, it was always like the last night before you left, there would be a fight.
Right.
Or the morning of.
Yes. Because I didn't want to be separated again. It was purely, I was overcome with emotions, and that's the way it came out, which is not a good way for it to come out. But
it would be like, it would be a seemingly trivial fight, but really what was underneath it was you didn't want to be separated from your daughters.
Absolutely.
But it came out in like I don't even know.
You didn't put the cap on the toothpaste. It was absolutely trivial.
Totally. But not really.
Well, no, it wasn't. The underlying reason wasn't trivial.
Yeah.
But whatever we picked to argue about was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. But I feel like you're getting better with that.
Oh, I'm much better.
There's been no fights this time.
No fights.
No arguments.
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, and you've really connected with the kids.
Absolutely, which I love.
Oh, before I forget, I got my mom hooked on Athletic Greens. So Athletic Greens sponsors this podcast, and basically it has 75 different vitamins, minerals, and whole sourced food ingredients. And you just take a spoonful, put it in a water bottle, shake it up, and drink it every morning, and you get all your vitamins and nutrients just in one drink. And it actually tastes really good. Like, how much do you like it?
I love it. I absolutely love it.
She stole a bag.
I did.
She stole a bag.
Mothers can't be trusted.
Right. She literally stole my Athletic Greens and took it home to Chicago.
I did.
And have you been drinking it every day?
Every day.
Really?
Yeah, and sometimes I like to put a little bit of lemon in it.
Yes.
It tastes so good.
The lemon, I think, is really nice.
It is.
But it's addicting.
It is.
Isn't it good to know, like, okay, 75 different vitamins and minerals, like I'm getting everything I need.
Right.
Okay, and then, so guys, if you order through me, I'm offering you a 1-year free supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs if you go to athleticgreens.com/idiotpodcast. Again, athleticgreens.com/idiotpodcast, and you get a year supply of the immune-supporting vitamin D, which you need.
Yes.
So you need the vitamin D.
Absolutely.
You drop that in. And then so for some reason, the vitamin D has to be separate. I don't know why, but everything else is in that drink.
Right.
And then the vitamin D. Yeah. So athleticgreens.com/idiotpodcast. It's your nutritional insurance.
Yeah, I love it. I really love it because you don't have to think about it and you don't have to feel badly if you don't eat the right things.
Totally.
So it's really, really nice and easy.
And you don't have to take the horse pills, as you like to call them.
I hate the horse pills.
Right. I know. And you're just taking all these different vitamins. Oh, did I get this? Did I get that?
Well, and often they upset your stomach, or at least my stomach.
Right. But this drink is genuinely good.
Yeah, and it doesn't upset your tummy
at all. I love that you say tummy.
I do say tummy.
Since Mom's been here living with 2 toddlers, she says things like, I'm going to the potty. I'm going to the potty now.
It's true. It's embarrassing, but it's true.
No, I know. I say it too.
Yeah.
I'm going to the potty.
Well, I always like that better than pee. I got to go pee.
I know. And I sometimes say that, and it's like not very ladylike. It's much more ladylike to say restroom, and it's a little more ladylike to say potty. Can I say that one time Mom was in a restaurant when we were toddlers, and she ordered the burger with a Sesame Street bun?
I did. It was quite embarrassing. So not only do I order a burger with a Sesame Street bun, but the waiter, who's like 2 booths down now, is telling the story of the woman who ordered the... And I'm like, I'm here.
I'm here. I can
you
hear
not
you.
see me? Yeah. But
Poppy loves the Elmo book. Have you read her the Elmo book?
I've read the Elmo book, the Little Blue Truck book, the Where Are the Animals Hiding book, any number of books.
It's funny because I do the with Elmo, and I don't even know because honestly, we don't even watch Sesame Street that much. But Elmo, he talks like Elmo, right?
Right.
Am
That's
I right?
Elmo.
Okay.
Yes.
So I do the book in his voice. So I'm like, "Hi, and she goes, Elmo." Like she does it too.
Yeah.
She's such a mimic.
Well, and you're such a hard act to follow. I mean, you read a book and it's like all over and so fun and so, all the voices are there. It's like, okay, here's boring grandma reading a book. And I'm not that boring.
You're
I'm
not.
good with kids.
No, I feel like I got the animated bit from you.
Well, maybe, but your voices are better.
Well, okay, I do go really big when I read them stories because Alfie, my 4-year-old, he's going to be 4 on
Yes.
the 20th. He is a tough crowd, and if I don't perform 110% commitment to these books, he checks out, and I have to fully commit, like Mom sees. I put my whole body into it.
Yeah.
I get really big with the voices because it's the only way he'll listen.
Right.
So I've had to do that. Whereas Poppy, I can read normally and she'll listen.
Right. But you have a friend who has a little girl the same age as Poppy.
Yes.
And you read, and she is cracking up, and your kids are like,
No, I know. Like other kids think I'm hilarious, and my kids are just like, nah, there's Mom again. Mom, I've seen this bit before. Can you switch it up?
yeah.
They're just so used to me. Whereas all the other kids are like,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Story time when they at their schools is going to be great when you
Yeah.
go and volunteer. It's so much fun.
yeah.
So much fun to do.
What else? What the hell?
Well, you know what? All right. So you know how you were raised, how I mothered you.
Uh-huh.
And you know how you're mothering your children. Do you see any big differences in what we do?
Well, it's funny because my kids are so young that I don't remember how you
That's true.
parented when I was 2 and 4, right?
Right,
So
'cause-
it's like I remember you were lots of fun, and you put a lot of effort into us having fun and creating games and making sure we were always staying creative and stimulated through different like sensory activities, and just you were really good at that.
It might have been an avoidance of housework, in all honesty.
Right.
I would much rather have played with the kids than
Yeah.
cleaned my house.
And I would much rather have had a fun house than a perfectly clean house.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Oh,
I was not
absolutely.
envious of my friends who had like moms who were obsessed with a perfectly clean house, but they didn't seem like a lot of fun.
No. When I was growing up, there was this one girl whose mother had her whole living room in plastic covers,
Yes.
so that your legs, it was not a pretty scene.
I know.
And she had those velvet ropes, like theater ropes, in front of the 2 entrances to her living room.
Oh my
So
God.
it was like, really?
yeah.
What
like,
is this for?
Can we live here though?
Yeah,
Can
no,
we
no,
live
and we
here?
never could. She was also the mother that, would dance with the boys at 13,
Oh,
when the
geez.
boys were 13. Yeah, she would.
That's
and-
really disturbing, and that reminds me of a really disturbing story.
Uh-oh.
Do you remember the woman who was a librarian from North who was arrested and went to
do.
jail for sleeping with a bunch of the high school boys?
Yeah,
So this is crazy, you guys. So this woman who went to the neighboring high school was a librarian, and it turns out she was sleeping with tons of the high school boys. And how they found out was, well, one of the boys talked about it in the locker room. I just had sex with the librarian. And then the other kid was like, me too. And the other guy's like, wait, me too. And so word
Yikes.
got around and it was reported. She was arrested. The really disturbing bit was that she had 4 boys of her own.
she did.
And I was friends with one of them.
He was a freshman at the time.
Yes. And I was friends with him. And I felt so sorry for her boys.
Oh, absolutely. Because, of course, Downers Grove is not that big of a town, and everybody knows everything kind of a place.
You think it's like that?
Well, not quite everybody
I don't
knows.
think it's
but
like, I don't think of it like a small town like that.
Not a little town where everybody knows every person in it, but more like if there's something big,
Okay.
the whole town is talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the same thing, there's a family practice in Downers Grove, and one of the founding partners turned out to be into kiddie porn and stuff. Big conversation in Downers.
Right. Jeez.
Yeah, very definitely disturbing.
Well, the ending to this story is that I was arrested when I was a teenager for, I don't know if it was underage drinking or possession of marijuana. It was one of the two. And they made me go to these things called SMS, self-management skills. And it was a class that you had to take with a bunch of other kids who had also gotten into trouble. So it was just a bunch of troublemakers in one class going like, what can we do later to get in trouble?
And worse, it was like a bunch of area high schools. So not only was it all the troublemakers in one class, you now had a myriad of parties that you could go to. You could go to Hinsdale parties or...
It was honestly amazing for my social life.
Yeah, and a terrible idea. And you guys used to call it drinking school.
Oh.
I have to go to drinking school tonight. And she'd be on the phone immediately. Everybody's going out after. Can I? No.
So one of the things they had us do in drinking school was go take a tour of the jail, the local jail. What jail? Whatever jail.
DuPage County.
DuPage County Jail, yeah. So they had us go and do a jail tour, and then like an inmate came in and like was like, if you don't straighten up your life, you're gonna end up here.
Yeah, suburban scared straight.
Yeah, and so I'm doing the jail tour, and who do I see in the jail but the teacher, the librarian? And I looked twice. I did a double take because I was like, there's no way. Yeah, it was her. I saw her in jail. And then just to confirm that it was her, I was like, this can't be. And then I looked at her roots and I assessed how long she had been in jail from her roots. Cause I was like, okay, cause I guarantee you she's not getting highlights in jail.
Probably not.
So I knew from the amount of roots she had in her hair, she had only been in there about 2.5, 3 months tops. And that was the exact right timeline. So I assessed her roots and was like, yeah, that's definitely her.
Yeah.
It was just wild to see her there. And we like locked eyes for a second and then kept moving, but really insane.
Yeah. What a hard thing to go through for her kids.
But then I think too, like she probably had some sort of abuse happen to her.
Yeah, probably.
Or something.
Yeah.
Not that justifies it. It's just like.
Yeah, it tends to be a pattern.
Yeah, like. It's such insane behavior.
It is. And it's that when you're abused as a child, especially if you're abused by a parent, all children want to be loved by their parents. So in some way, shape, or form, your mind twists a little and feels like this abuse is showing how much they love you. And that's kind of the justification when you get older. Not that you actually justify it, but
sure.
You may feel on the inside that this isn't a terrible thing.
Right. It's like your coping mechanism.
Yeah, it's just horrid.
Yeah.
Horrid.
So funny. Everyone's asking me to respond to Steven's like latest posts. He's posting all this political stuff and like and I just like don't even know that I'm ready to respond to anything, or like I want to really think about what to say and how to say it, because as I'm like saying it right now.
I was gonna say, but you're two distinct individuals who both have your own opinions.
That's the thing. I think, yeah, exactly. And we've disagreed on certain things. But I think it's pretty obvious that I'm liberal, and but I just...
And welcoming of all communities.
And welcoming of all communities, exactly. And so that being said, like, we're co-parents, and I just want a peaceful relationship with him and for our kids, so it's something that I'm still, just so you guys know, I'll probably do like a proper response to address it, because I think some people are like, well, they want to know, and so that will be coming. I have to wrap my head around everything. It's still a lot to take in. I wasn't even aware of half of these things, so I'm still taking it all in, is what I'm trying to say.
And it's such an extreme point of view, that you haven't had time to really think about, and a surprise.
Yes.
A complete shock, because it's never been the case before, or maybe it was and he just never said.
Yeah, I think he's sort of saying, like, now that we're not together, like he had said, I didn't say certain things because I wanted to protect your brand, Laura, and so I didn't say things, and then now that we're not together, I feel I can express myself fully, and so I'm just kind of like, look, you're your own person, and to me this is such a lesson in surrendering and understanding that I'm powerless over people, places, things, and a lot of situations, and so I am powerless over what he does and doesn't do to a degree. And so to surrender that and not try and control, you shouldn't say this is wrong, this is that. There's no point. There is no point. So I've just sort of, detached in a sense, and kind of live and let live, I guess.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have our kids. So but we're in agreement on that they are best living with me. And, he agrees with that as well. So, I feel, though, a lot of pressure being a single mom, because I'm either working or with the kids, and that's it. That is my life. And
pretty much true.
Yeah. I mean, grandma's been here, so I'm able to like leave the house here and there, but no, I am like mom or working, and that's it. And as stressful as that is to be a single mom now, I know it's what's best for the kids.
Well, and best for you too, I think. You want your kids with you all the time.
Yeah. Absolutely. But anyway, I suppose I'll like do like a proper response once I've wrapped my head around everything. It's a lot, and it's something new every day. And so I stopped following him on, TikTok and Instagram, and actually all social medias, because it was just triggering to like see all this stuff, and it's just a lot to take. And my focus needs to be on just, self-care, my kids, continuing to work and keep the roof over our head, and that's really my focus right now. I can't really take on anything else.
No, it wouldn't do you any good to just be, like banging your head against the wall.
Totally.
It doesn't work.
In a way, it feels really freeing to just totally surrender to what's happening and not try and control.
Right.
That feels really good.
Right.
And
even better if people understand that you're two separate people.
Yes.
Sorry, I keep saying that, don't I?
We're two separate people with two different ideas entirely. Well,
no two people agree on absolutely everything.
No.
And sometimes two people disagree more than they agree.
Yeah.
Or their opinions differ more than they're
I'll say I don't have a problem with a trans woman doing a campaign for Nike women. I don't see an issue with that at all. And whereas he does, and he's spoken out about against that. And that is what it fucking is, because I can't control what he thinks and how he thinks. And so, damn, we're like a low rent Kim and Kanye. So that's kind of crazy to think.
Yes, it is.
We're like a Z-list Kim and Kanye is what we are. Think about it. Kim and Kanye, they bought a house and they renovated it, and then they got divorced directly after. Kanye moved out. Kim stayed in the house with the kids. Then Kanye went all crazy, right-wing, conservative.
Yeah.
Hello? And started making like manic videos online all the time.
Yeah.
And Kim took over full-time, parenting. Obviously she has help, but it's just funny, the similarities. Oh, and Kanye is a musician, brilliant musician, definitely on the spectrum, I would say, like Steven. It's just funny. But it's not.
Right. Yeah. Well, at least you know what's going to happen to you next.
Wait,
if you're going to follow suit.
Okay,
I have no idea.
I'll tell you what happened. Kanye got married.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. He. Oh my God. And Kanye went through a stage with Kim where he was like obsessive.
Right.
And like would send 1,000 roses to her house and tried to get her back, and she in the end had enough, and it didn't work, and then he just got married to a woman that looks just exactly like him.
Wow.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe that's I don't know.
Okay. That'd be fine.
That would be fine.
Yeah.
I do genuinely want him to be happy and healthy and and creatively fulfilled and a good present dad. And I will say, like, he came over on Easter and was really great with the kids.
Yeah, he was fun and charming, and yeah, it was a fun day.
Yeah.
And the kids had a good time hunting for Easter eggs and the whole.
And you didn't lose your shit at him.
No, I didn't. I was very good. My daughter always fears that in me.
Well, that kind of happened the time before, but my mom confronted him as her mama bear came out. It does. And I get that. Having a daughter.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, and he will too someday.
Yes.
When it has to do with Poppy, he'll absolutely get that.
Totally.
Protective. You are not being kind.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was all good and peaceful this time around, wasn't it?
It was perfectly good and peaceful and cordial.
And you'll be back, hopefully, like in a month or so.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything you want to leave them with?
What would I want to leave them? You know what? Be grateful. Be grateful for your kids. Be grateful for your grandkids. Be grateful if you're single and you're in love. Just be grateful and live in the moment. Live now.
Yeah.
Because life changes so quickly and you don't know what's going to come.
Yes, I know.
So you've got to appreciate and really dwell in your situation.
Yeah, that's really great advice. Gratitude is so, so powerful. And it takes work to go, wait, let me get grateful for everything I have.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you don't, because you're so busy doing everything every day.
Yeah.
You don't realize what an absolute joy little kids can be, or what an absolute joy taking a walk with your best friend.
Yeah.
Or one of your best friends is. All
or
that
going
kind
to
of
brunch
stuff.
with your mom.
We've
been brunching like crazy.
We have.
Which is amazing. That's been so much fun.
It has. And I absolutely love the cafe thing. And we don't do it much at home. Well,
No.
especially not in the winter but here you can sit outside.
Yeah.
And it's gorgeous. And everybody's got great avocado toast.
Yes.
What more could you ask for?
I know. It is amazing.
Yeah.
That's the time we get adult time is to go have brunch together.
Right.
But the gratitude thing, what I'll do with Alfie now is I'll be pushing them on the swings and I'll say, I'm happy and grateful for that. And then he'll fill in sky. I'm happy and grateful for that. Trees. Happy and grateful for the waterfall. I'm happy and grateful for mommy, for grandma. And we just go on and on for bananas. It's like just everything, and he loves it.
Yeah.
He's so excited because it's not too young to teach them to be grateful.
No, absolutely.
You know?
I can't wait until Poppy can be grateful
Poppy
enough.
says it too.
For
Poppy
her,
fills it in.
But for her potatoes.
Oh my gosh, happy and grateful for potatoes.
Yes.
Poppy asks for potatoes every single night.
Yes. Please pass the potatoes. It's just amusing.
I know. She is so funny, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
We have the same personality, don't we?
Who?
Poppy and I.
Oh my God.
And she was like, I was like her, or she was like me.
Yes. I mean, Laura was literally posing when she was a toddler.
But also very talkative.
Very,
too.
very, never
And
stopped
goofy.
talking. Unbelievably goofy, funny, and creative. She just was.
That's Poppy.
Yeah. Her sisters would be at school because they're like a year and a half older and a year and a half older. And she'd be by herself in the backyard on a swing talking the entire time.
I still do that.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Oh, and her other thing, she has to check out every bathroom in the house.
I still do that.
And
Alfie.
Alfie likes to
Yeah.
go in different bathrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
you got
does.
it, variety.
But he loves a bath and a shower just like me.
Yes.
And he'll go in the shower and the bath every day, sometimes multiple times a day. And I was the same.
Yes.
With that.
Yeah.
But I would say Alfie and Steven have very similar personalities, and Poppy and I.
Yes. Yeah. Poppy is super friendly and super funny, and anytime anybody is laughing in the room, she joins in.
She joins in. Whereas Alfie's more independent, strong-willed, brilliant and creative and so smart, but just not as social.
Yeah.
Not as social. Like, just is content, sort of. He does love being around people, but not like, he's not like conversational like Poppy.
No.
Poppy's very much like, here, he's giving her your food and laughing with you, and Alfie's a little more
Shy and standoffish.
Yeah.
Which is
but
fun.
then it makes, when he does hug you
Yes.
and cuddle you, oh my God.
Incredible.
It's so special. Like, my friend Holly comes over a couple times a week with her daughter, who's the same age as Poppy. And it's wonderful. They're like besties already, and so are Holly and I. But Holly like almost cried yesterday because Alfie went up to her and smiled and jumped up and down when she came in.
Yeah.
And for Alfie, that's such a big deal. And Holly's tried for years with Alfie to connect. And I remember when he was younger, every time Holly, the sweetest woman I know, would come in the door, he'd start screaming and crying because that's just what he was going through. But she tried and she tried and she tried to connect. And then she learned to like give him space and let him come to her, and he didn't, and he didn't, and he didn't, and she just kept loving him from a distance. And then now, after like months of her coming over regularly, he finally not only like went up to her, jumping up and down with a big grin, but he asks for her. He says, Holly, and her dog's name is Cha-Cha, Cha-Cha, and her daughter's name is Frankie, Frankie. So he asks for all of them all the time, but she was just so excited by that embrace. She couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's truly the trick of it. The more an adult tries to, get to know a child on their terms, on the adult's terms, oftentimes the more back offish the child is. If you let the kid just come to you and make it fun, it usually works well.
Yes. No, definitely. But I would say too, like, a neurotypical kid, it tends to come to you a little more naturally.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe.
or I could say Poppy, and I don't even know if she is neurotypical. We don't even know that. But she would come to you a little more easily, or like Frankie, and a lot of kids, or like Maggie's kids, like they kind of will approach me a little easier.
Sure.
So I think like a kid on the spectrum is different in that way.
Yeah. Oh, I do too.
I
do too. I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
It's much harder.
But it makes the connection
huge.
Yeah. It makes it
absolutely huge.
Yeah.
And
like, you got a lot of good cuddles.
I got so many, and especially in the last couple of days, which makes it so sad to be leaving right now. But
don't fight me.
I'm not fighting
Don't
you.
fight
I'm
me.
not fighting.
Do not fight.
I will not fight you.
Fight me.
Anyway,
We're gonna fight.
Yesterday I was swimming with Alfie,
Yeah.
and Alfie is obsessed with the movie Luca right now. So all he wanted me to do was, Grandma, jump in. Grandma, jump in. Because I dive in from the deep end. That's always the way I've gotten into a pool. He loved that. Luca? Yeah, that's me, Luca. Diving into the pool again.
Oh, I love that he made that connection.
After the 6th time, I said, last time, Grandma, because that in and out thing.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
70, you know. Help.
He loves the pool.
Yes, he does.
Oh, you didn't get to swim today.
I didn't get to swim today, but that's okay. My hair would have been wet on the airplane, and that would have been yucky.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you for watching and or listening. And please hit the subscribe button and the like button on this video. It helps keep me going. And until next week, right?
Oh, absolutely. Until next week.
And then Mommy will be back when she's back.
Yep.
Woo! Bye.
Hi.